Artificial intelligence, weekly updates, Friday, August 29th. As usual, lots of stuff, so much so that I'll start putting stuff for the next week already. But anyway, today's slogan, implementation beats optimization, shipping beats perfecting, results beat research. Okay, first we'll start with LM Arena Leaderboard. And what do you see? First of all, we have a new player, Microsoft. So before, Microsoft was relying only on OpenAI mostly, but now they have their own model, which is called MAI, which is Microsoft AI 1. It is now in preview. Apparently, it is about 500 billion parameters and has mixture of experts architecture, but it's not open source and it's not like completely open. Anyway, so what do we see for left, for English text chat? So Gemini is on the first, GPT-5 high, which means it is reasoning, it's expensive. On the second place, then we have Claude, and then OpenAI. So yellow is OpenAI, then Claude, then OpenAI, and then it follows. A lot of China. Green means open source. So you see what's happening. XAI, we have Grok 4 here, and then Grok 3 below. And we have Microsoft. So at least Microsoft got into the top 20 models for chats. Now, for coding, situation is completely different. As you can see, Claude is absolutely dominating everything. Microsoft also got into top 20. Okay, next is Gemini Nano Banana. So this is a great model. Everybody is so excited. There are a lot of videos and demonstrations and website. I will not go through it, but it for right now it is the best image generation and image editing model in existence, and what it can do is absolutely amazing. So let's go next. OpenAI GPT real-time speech agents. So imagine an agent which can understand the speech and reply also with speech. But in the meantime, in the middle, so it talks to a customer, and customer has a question, and then this agent will follow the rules, execute some functions, do some logistic stuff, and then responds also in like speech. And it does it with emotions, it does it with pauses, understanding. Like this is quite amazing. So it's OpenAI GPT real time. It's very low latency. It understands also different languages, can switch fast. Yeah, it is amazing. T-Model was using it and they're very happy. So they praised the conversational quality, emotional intelligence, contextual adaptability. So it's all in one model, which is LLM, but it's also speech in and speech out. Cohere, so this is a company in Canada, and they have Command A model. This is what they're famous for. They're also famous for a lot of enterprise level applications which using these and other models. So now they have Command A reasoning, and they released it with open weights, 111 billion parameters, whatever, particularly designed for advanced reasoning, requires direct enterprise agreements for commercial use, respectable window length, you can toggle reason on and off, 23 languages, and so on. So it's a good thing. Okay, this is as usual shameless plug for my channel. If you're watching it when it's already on YouTube, please pause and answer the pinned question in comments under the video. You subscribe to this channel, you'll get notifications about these videos. Well, they come every Friday. Next, Alibaba Coder and Agentic coding. So this is a platform. This is not just a model. Inside, it uses the model. It uses Qwen3 Qoder with 480 billion parameters MOE architecture, right? How you use it? You download it from Qoder.com website. It's an app. It's IDE. You start it and you use it. So it has two modes: as an agent and as a quest. Quest means it goes on a quest autonomously to do everything by itself, whereas agent is more like a coding assistant, conversational pair programming with system. Deep repo searching, automated documentation generation, automated refactoring and testing. So I guess it's a very good model because everything which comes from Alibaba is on the top. But well, for now it is free, right? But we will see. Next, NVIDIA Nemotron Nano 2. What's interesting about this model that this is a hybrid architecture. It's using Mamba and it's using Transformer. And because of that, it is 6 times faster than purely Transformer model, but giving the same quality of the response. So this is great achievement by NVIDIA. Next, Microsoft Data Formulator. What it is a system which can generate you charts, dashboards, spreadsheets. So these are examples. So it's open source AI powered tool to help analysts create data visualizations. Drag and drop, optionally refine visualizations through prompts, step by step, Python based, and recommended to use OpenAI GPT API key. So you install pip install data formulator and then you start using it. Next, memory decoder, AI pretrained plug and play LLM memory. So what we're talking about? You all familiar with RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, where you encode your data into a vector database. And there are many other systems and variations. What these people recommend, and this is the article where they describe it, that so you have your big model and then to the side you put a small model which is trained on particular data, and then when you respond you use this small model to give you the data. So you are not going into vector database. There's no database. You for data you go to the small model. Because this model is small, it is well inexpensive to train it. So during inference, it runs in parallel with the main LLM with outputs interpolated together. A very interesting system because it works fast, it is cheaper, right? Inference overhead is just 128 compared to RAG. So this is great. Reduces domain-specific perplexity by almost 80% in biomedicine and finance. Okay, Apple explores Google Gemini for Siri. So you see Siri and Gemini. GitHub has open sourced its own MCP server, Model Context Protocol server for GitHub. So now they open sourced it. OpenAI Assistance API now converted to Responses API. Well, not converted, but you recommended to use Responses API. Code interpreter, persistent conversation, MCP, computer use, web search gets domain filtering, source reporting, and price cut from $25 down to $10 per 1,000 calls. So Responses API is something you need to use. XAI opened Grok 2.5. Well, Grok 2.5 is a model from last year, and now they open sourced it. It's 270 billion parameter model with mixture of expert architecture as usual, free for research and commercial use. And they actually claim that their current model, they'll open source it maybe in about 6 months. OpenAI model redesigns proteins to turn cells into stem cells. So this is very interesting work, achieving 50 times better efficiency than original Nobel Prize winning versions discovered in 2012. Built a GPT-4b micromodel trained on biological data. AI designed proteins converted the cells into stem cells 50 times more efficiently. So this is absolutely amazing scientific and I guess biomedical result. Now, Coinbase, so we're talking about crypto. Their CEO fired a lot of people who refused to adopt AI, and they did it without even verifying. Maybe the person didn't adopt AI because the person was on vacation. Doesn't matter. They just it was very brutal. So they require everybody to use GitHub Copilot and Cursor. Okay, NotebookLM Video Overviews are now available in 80 languages. So you see these different languages. So NotebookLM is a very good service, right? Which uses AI to make summaries, to make slides, to make audio summaries of papers or whatever. Like really great system. And now they expanded the languages. Next, Agentic RAG is transforming information retrieval. Oh, by the way, this image on the right, I made it with Gemini and Nano Banana. Well, I don't really like this image, but whatever. So what we're talking about information retrieval, reflection, critique and improve outputs, planning, break queries into steps, tool use, call external sources like web search APIs, multi-agent collaboration, multiple agent team up, one retrieves, another validates, and so on. It's very common now that simple vanilla RAG doesn't work, so people do multiple actions on the input and on the output. And because they do that, they need models which are fast, with low, well, good enough, of course, but also with low latency and with a lot of speed, like tokens per second. We will see this. Turing, improve training data. So Turing helps AI teams migrate, manage, and improve training data sets for advanced projects, for different kind of projects, support 60 languages, domains, and so on. So this is the link to the website. ChatGPT's Study and Learn. I saw it a couple days ago, but today it disappeared. I don't know. It's a new feature, so it goes on and off. But apparently in tools, in ChatGPT, choose Study and Learn and provide context of specific goals, and it will talk to you, it will teach you, it will ask you questions, and so on. It looks like all major systems introducing something like that, so people can use them as like private teachers. Next, Anthropic Claude Chrome extension. Well, it's not available for everyone else, but for everyone yet, but it is extension for the browser, which works as AI agent, and it can do stuff on your behalf. There are a lot of security issues with this type of architecture, but it's interesting that this is Claude collaborating with Google, with Chrome, to deliver this functionality. NVIDIA Nemotron Nano 9B V2 reasoning model. Great model, great benchmarks, scoring highest among models smaller than 10 billion parameters, and again uses hybrid MAMA transformer architecture, which we spoke about. Hermes 4 by Nous Research. Open source hybrid reasoning model. There are two versions, 70 billion and 405 billion parameters, and it is positioned as creative and uncensored. Grok code fast. This is something. So they positioned this model for coding as the fastest coding model in the world. So latency is only 67 milliseconds, which is great, and it's typing output with 92 tokens per second, which again is at least 20% faster than competitors. And by the way, latency, for example, Claude Sonnet, which is my favorite, but you give it a question and then you wait like 5 to 8 seconds before it starts the answer, right? Here you have less than 1/10 of a second. So this Grok code fast is really fast. And it is available now for free. So you can use it in Cursor, you can use it in GitHub Copilot, you can use it in Klein, which is extension for Visual Studio Code, which I love. And it's also inexpensive. So for a million tokens input output, it is 0.20, so 20 cents and $1.50 for output. Okay, next, OpenAI Codex, GPT model fine-tuned for code tasks. So Codex existed for a long time. It went through multiple iterations, and it is available via chat interface with ChatGPT Plus Pro Enterprise, code editors, terminal commands. So over the years, it's getting better. I'm still not using it because I like Claude, and Gemini is my second choice, but it exists and it's good. Next, Google AI mode in search, now Agentic. So here is Google search, and with AI mode, it's not just searching. You can ask it to do something, like perform a real world task, like booking restaurants, scheduling appointments, purchasing tickets, and you can give more data, like what will be the party size, on which date, time, location, cuisine, and so on. Very, very interesting. So Google search now becomes more like a personal assistant, right? Well, it's all this power is not available to everybody else. Basic AI mode conversational features, enhanced personalization are available in English in many countries, but the advanced capabilities which described on the top are only available for people who are paying $250 a month or via labs experiment if they participated. So it's basically in more or less preview stage. Build your own 80 million website builder. So this is a very interesting video. There was a company, Base 44, which was sold for $80 million after like 6 months of development. And what it is, it's a website builder, the app. And here in this video, it's about 1 hour video, they demonstrate how recreate this app from scratch, from designing of the screen, just using basically vibe coding, go step by step, designing the plan, the individual steps, and then executing them, and the system writes the code. Very interesting. Okay, next, stacking sliding windows problem. You know that in Transformer you have attention matrices, and if you have quadratic complexity problem. So if the matrix has size n and you have all connections inside, you will have n squared number of operations. So this is what slows down the systems. So what people do, they use something called sliding window. So they don't calculate everyone with everyone. They like create a smaller window and they move it through the text. But the problem with that is, as you move it through the text, the system kind of forget. Like it's the same like vanishing gradient problems with regular. Sorry, can you mute yourself? And so you see, this model struggled to use information from more than about 1500 words, far less than theoretical. This is because information gets diluted as it spreads through the network, and residual connections create exponential barrier that blocks distant information. Well, I put it here just for a demonstration that different kinds of deep learning systems hit the same walls or similar walls. Okay, next, Memento, fine-tuning agents. Memento fine-tuning agents without fine-tuning LLMs. So usually when people say we will fine-tune something, that means you take the network and you train it on some additional data. But here it doesn't happen. So you don't change the model. Instead, you accumulate the data. Memory-based continual learning framework that helps LLM agents improve from experience without updating model weights. So core concept, learn from experience, not gradients. Not gradients meaning there is no gradient descent, there is no changing the weights of the model. Memento logs successful and failed trajectories into a case bank and retrieves by value to steer planning and execution and enabling low-cost, transferable and online continual learning. No LLM weight updates. Memento reframes continual learning as memory-based online reinforcement learning over memory-augmented MDP. Two-stage planner, execute a comprehensive tool. Anyway, very interesting approach. So next time you think about maybe I need to fine-tune my model to put it in this agent, you can use this alternative approach where you don't train the model. Training the model is expensive. So this is probably much less expensive and apparently effective. Next, AI generated YouTube stories and shorts. So what I'm talking about, here are several videos. They happen to be in Russian language, but people are making good money by generating content. And in these videos, they explain, so here, for example, $60,000 a month. What they do, they search for stories, maybe on Reddit, like whatever. There are a lot of stories on the internet. And then they ask AI to regenerate the story, maybe change it so it will become original. Then at the beginning, and they add some background images, well, something to convert it into video, and at the beginning use a real human face profile and whatever. So for example, the person appears and waves hand, and this is to overcome what YouTube does. It may block monetization on the video if they think this is just a spam, right? But when you show your face, you humanize this video, and then you can make money on this video. And yeah, and these people just make money on advertisements which YouTube inserts in those stories. What's interesting that those stories about husband and wife adopting a child, or like revenge situation at work and whatever, the audience is 60, 65 years old people, and these people have money, and somehow they love these stories. And yeah, and so this is a good way. Another TikTok videos, which are very short. TikTok pays by a number of expressions, so there is no inserted advertisement. And again, what the people do, they just take those videos, use AI to modify them, and then post them on YouTube Shorts and making money this way. Well, much less in this particular case. And here again, yet another video, a little bit different approach. Okay, next, Claude Code hints. Well, I put some hints here, sub-agents, super Claude framework. I had some more links, but I just said it, I will not do it. Anyway, FastAPI example. You know, FastAPI become like very popular nowadays. So what it is, it's a Python based it's a module. So you see here from FastAPI, import FastAPI, and then you create an app of this type, and then you start it you record main app. So you start this app from the prompt, and it runs like a web server. But what FastAPI is designed for is to receive requests as JSON and to respond as JSON. And you can create different types of endpoints. It may be get endpoints, it may be post endpoints. And this is very common nowadays when you create a model and you want to put it on some sort of web service. That's very easy to do with FastAPI. And yeah, here is an example of endpoint, right? So you say this is get, this will be the, like, let's say you're running it locally. So you'll have like a local host column 8000 and then slash users slash, and then you give user ID. So this will be the URL you will use, and then you will give it certain JSON, and then, well, it does and return the response which looks like this, which in fact will be JSON when you'll receive it. And another part of using FastAPI is using Pydantic. Pydantic also is a Python module which helps you to create so-called models. Models are small classes which define the structure of those messages, whether it's your request message or response message. You can define the structure of these messages. Some components of these messages are required, some may be optional. You can indicate what type, is it integer or float or boolean or string or something else. And this really helps because then when FastAPI works, it can check if there is a correct type of the message, if all the fields correct, and if not, it will give you good error, which then you will understand where the problem comes from. So now it's very common combination using FastAPI and using those Pydantic classes, Pydantic templates, Pydantic models. Okay, next, deep think with confidence. This is coming from Meta. It's called DeepConf. And what it is a way to give correct answer with confidence. Well, but how you achieve confidence? So what they do, they try to answer multiple times, and internally, as it tries to answer, as it goes through the process, you see there's a reasoning paths. It may using different criteria, which here they are listed, like token confidence, group confidence, tail confidence, and so on. It can decide that this particular path is not good, so it can cancel it before it's finished. Or it also can decide, okay, this reasoning trace is better than this, so it can assign weights to different traces, and then when it summarizes them, it can summarize in a weighted fashion. So it works better than when you simply kind of average different traces. And because it cancels in the middle, it uses much less tokens. So you see, requiring up to 85% fewer generated tokens. It's like 6 times less tokens to do the same job, the same reasoning, and with the same accuracy. So DeepConf is simple to implement, doesn't need extra training or tuning. This is just the framework how you do the reasoning several times and how you evaluate which one is better and how you compose them together. Very clever. It's a great work from Meta. Okay, next is about jobs. So this was updated today. You see there are some layoffs in August, but much less than it was in July. So these are the numbers over the years, number of layoffs. So 2025 maybe on the same level at 2024 because we're now in August, right? So we'll see at the end of the year. This is interesting. I saw it in some, I don't remember the link, unfortunately. So AI power users are stuck at 85,000 a year salary. So they know how to use prompt, like prompt GPT. They know how to use vibe coding. They know how to use OpenAI API, but still it's low salary. But then there are other people who are getting 200, 400K. Well, there are people who are getting millions, and these are people working for like OpenAI and other companies who train these new models, right? This is research and so on. Here I'm talking about, let's say, a bank or some regular company. Who would they pay 200 to 400K per year? So these are people who, of course, know all that, but they also know how to put it in production, like build a parser that processes 3,000 resumes a day, or architect invoice processing pipeline that scale to enterprise level and passes compliance requirements, or deploy a multimodal security system that caches anomalies in video frames in real time. So you want to be paid more, you need to learn technical, like how to put things in production and make it work reliable. So it's not so much about the quality of the model itself, it's more the whole like framework which you create around this model to make it reliable and performant. Okay, this is information me as usual, and thank you.